And what's going on, guys? And welcome to the Benches Cleared podcast, where we cover the best rivalry in all of sports. And I am Jesse Gutierrez. I represent the side of the San Francisco Giants, who went an underwhelming 2-3 to start the season.
I'm Tyler Coe, and I represent the Los Angeles Dodgers, who have started 3-2. But you know what? We beat the Astros. There was a little bit of emotion tonight, so I'm okay. I'm not as disappointed as I was before the Astros game.
But like I said, the Giants are going to compete for a wild card spot because they play the Dodgers well. We ended up splitting the series
because they won two games, so they're clearly competing for a wild card spot.
So it's easier to beat the Dodgers than it is to beat the Padres and Diamondbacks. I'm just saying.
I mean, you lost to the Padres tonight, so
that's one. Shark didn't look good. Offense. I mean, AT&T Park, 3 runs at 3 runs at AT&T or Oracle Park is not. It's like 5 runs anywhere else. So I mean, it's just Shark didn't look good. He was all over the place. He wasn't getting called his corners because that was the only time he was hitting the strike zone. So hopefully he's able to pick it up and we can get going on this shit. But just to touch a little bit on the Dodgers series, really quick. Got to give big ups to Caleb Bargar. First win, fucking just looked amazing. The bullpen is looking good. Tyler Rogers, someone I've really been big on that kind of, if you look at the stat line, got hammered in the Dodgers series, but not really if you're watching the games because it was like the shift fucking killed him, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's just ground balls in holes because there's no one on the side. Like, when it's Tyler Rogers, he's going to get ground balls. Just put people where they're supposed to be, okay, and he'll be fine.
I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I think those days are long gone, unfortunately.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, the series, it was just exciting to have baseball back, and, it was a little underwhelming going 2-2, whereas for you, it was nice. But for Dodger fans, from our perspective, it was a little disappointing, but, I mean, there were bright spots. Dustin May looked great, and now he's going up against the Astros tomorrow, so that's a nice little confidence boost.
Yeah.
But
you think Joe Kelly goes after them again if they're up 5-1 again?
I don't know. I think because he pitched tonight, I don't think he's going to pitch tomorrow. But I mean, let's just jump into that because it's fresh on the mind. That was great.
Yeah.
That
was
just
awesome.
made me feel so good. And what he said to Carlos looked like he said you have to cheat to hit. And then mix it with some fuck yous and
I heard I saw shut the fuck up. I couldn't read anything else.
Well, this all started from Michael Brantley. Michael Brantley was the one. I mean, Joe Kelly probably threw about 6 knockdown pitches tonight. I mean, he threw over Bregman's head on a 3-0, which was great. He threw over Brantley, and then when Brantley grounded out, he went to cover first, and Brantley stepped on his foot. And Joe Kelly was kind of missing the bag. So it's not like Brantley intentionally did it, and you could hear clear as day Brantley say, "Get the fuck back on the mound," or "Stay the fuck on the mound," to Joe Kelly. So that's where this kind of started.
Yeah, because Brantley wasn't there, so he was trying to have his guys back. As Brantley, you got to do that.
Right, and as a lot of people are pointing out, Joe Kelly was a part of the Red Sox in 2017 who lost to the Astros in the NLDS.
That's true. So he was affected by it too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like he doesn't have, a horse in the race in this one. So it was fun. Yeah. I mean, seeing the benches clear, they plug. They kept their distance. So, it wasn't as exciting as maybe it could be, but it was still enough to get the, the juices flowing. So I'm super excited for tomorrow's game. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I hope that they're up 6 runs and they just put Joe Kelly in for one batter because he's going to get thrown out. Be like, hey, who are you guys playing? What's your next series after the Astros?
Diamondbacks.
You don't need fucking Joe Kelly. Let him get suspended for 3 games. Let him throw 99 to the ribs of Korea. That's probably why they didn't hit him. I think as we've seen in this offseason, Joe Kelly is not one for control, but I feel like maybe he threw it over them to be like, hey, I'm not trying to get kicked out, but at the same time, fuck you. Let me. I just want to see a little pee come out you a little bit while you're in the box.
One of those was like an 86 mile an hour curveball. If he's gonna hit you, he's gonna throw a 99 mile an hour fastball. He's gonna make it hurt. He's not
hands down.
Yeah. So we'll see. Tomorrow's gonna be exciting. I can't wait.
Yeah. something that happened last week that I just want to address really quick before we get into our interview, which I'm really excited about. But happened last week. Sam Coonrod chose not to kneel before the anthem, and a sign of a symbolism saying everyone's together, that things need to change socially for Black lives need to matter, and his excuse was first of all he said that he was a Christian and he can't kneel before God, but anyone but God, and Black Lives Matter organization has leaned toward Marxism. Whatever. The Marxism thing, I feel like it's not even about the organization. It's about the action that Black Lives Matter. Okay, this is not people and what their ideals are. We need to get on board with shit needs to change. Okay, get that out of the way. Number two. Oh, you want to say something on it?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I guarantee you, this guy has no idea what Marxism actually is. So
I don't either.
Well, that's why you're not saying anything about it.
Exactly. And secondly, most importantly, as a Christian man who loves Jesus, right? I don't understand I don't kneel before anyone but God. Bro, when I proposed to my wife, I got down on a knee, right? When we were in Little League and someone got hurt. Yeah, exactly. It would in Little League, someone got hit, you were supposed to take a knee. Like, there's plenty of times when someone's on the ground, you take a knee. It's not, you only worship God. Kneeling is not a sign of worship. It's a sign of respect. Soldiers kneel at the graves of their fallen brothers. That's the whole reason why when Kaepernick went from sitting to kneeling. Yeah. So it's not an act of worshiping. It's an act of respect, of hoping someone gets better in the case of injury or of loss of whatever the situation calls for. It's act of respect for getting married. I respect you.
Yeah,
it's active. You know what I mean?
This guy's he's a loser as far as I'm concerned.
It's a little disappointing, especially because as we've talked about, I follow a lot of people in the minor leagues. I followed him since he was the ace starting pitcher for the San Jose Giants, thinking he was going to be a starter. Ended up getting hurt trying the bullpen. He seems to look really good, but it just sucks, man. When you follow someone for years and then they say something stupid like that. I don't hate him. I don't wish him unwell, obviously, but I just think, dude, you need a reality check.
Yeah, no.
Look outside your fucking window, dude. Like, just because nothing's going on in your world doesn't mean shit's not going on.
Yeah, I don't wish him unwell either. I just wish that he will take a more open-minded approach to things, and maybe he will, because I know he's facing a lot of backlash, but I'm sure he's getting a lot of support of like-minded people. So he'll get
invited on Fox. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, he'll be sitting down with Sean Hannity, sometime soon. So
the people that say, "Hey, players need to stay out of politics," is bullshit. And then one person that stands up for and then when they stand up for what they believe, and it's like, oh, it's just so refreshing. Let's talk. Let's hear about your views. I want to hear it.
Sam Coonrod, national patriot.
Yeah,
that's going to be the tag.
Oh God. But we can talk about this all day, man.
So some breaking news in baseball. As we woke up yesterday, we saw, and it's continuing through tonight, Marlins players and traveling personnel have been testing positive for coronavirus. I believe the tally now is around 19 and 14.
Coronavirus. It's getting real.
Half of the active 30-man rosters tested positive. MLB has now postponed their games until at least Monday, and the Phillies games until at least Monday. And now the Orioles and Yankees are going to be playing each other starting tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah,
Wednesday. They're ruining everything for
dude. Imagine if the Marlins are the ones who fucked this up. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, can we just tell them, listen, let's just give them, whoever's playing the Marlins, you get all wins. Okay? You play the Marlins 10 times, we'll go 8-2. All right, and keep on fucking moving. Marlins have no skin in this game.
And I think the greed of Robert Manfred and the greed of all the owners will actually be an asset in this instance, because they will not shut the season down for this. I think they would first remove the Marlins from from the league for this season before they cancel the season. And with the 60-man and them being able to just sign players, I think they'll be playing games again next week.
Yeah,
but
I think so too.
I think it's important that something like this happened in the beginning of the season. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I wish it would have never happened, but now I think a lot of more people are going to take it seriously and realize when you're on the road, it's go to the hotel, go to the ballpark, come back to the hotel, and that's
Don't
it.
go to the fucking lake, dude.
Yeah, no one goes in a boat with anyone without masks. Just don't do it.
Yeah, if it was the Yankees or the Astros or the Dodgers or you know what I mean, like then it would be a really big issue. But hopefully this is just the only hiccup, and if there's any other hiccups, it's just small, controlled. When we get the season going, I can prove you wrong with the Giants contender for a wild card game. My Chipotle when they win over 20 games. I'm happy. It'll be great.
Yeah, you're a fifth of the way there, so
that's all we need, baby.
Yeah. So now we're going to jump into something we've been really excited to bring you guys. This week we do have an interview with someone who's currently on the Dodgers, the taxi squad. Dodgers utility player. If you guys have been watching spring training, the inter-squad games, the exhibition games, you know him. You've seen him. He has a great swing. He can play 5 positions, so he fits that Dodgers mold, and he was
nice making Willie Mays catches in the
like it ain't no
back
thing.
of the infield. Like it ain't no thing. I'm a sucker for infield defense, so I love that shit. I can't get enough of it.
All right, guys, it is our pleasure to introduce our guest this week, 2016 33rd round pick from Central Michigan, Mr. Zach McKinstry, utility player for the Los Angeles Dodgers. So Zach, coming off, your sophomore year at Central Michigan, did you have any idea about your draft status? Because I did see an interview where you said your college roommate was actually the one that told you that you were drafted. Is that true?
I think, I'm pretty sure he was watching it on Twitter because at the house I was living at in the Cape, I'm not sure if they had cable or not, but we weren't really watching the draft, just getting tweets and stuff. And then, so this guy, his mom actually passed away a few days before this happened. So he was really pumped for me, something good in his life happened. And it was pretty exciting. But then my agent called me right after it happened and heard from him, obviously. And then went on for a month negotiation, basically just letting them sign everybody else. And then I finally signed 4 days before the cutoff day.
So you said were you playing in the Cape Cod League at the time? Is that what was going on?
Yeah, I had 2 games there.
Okay.
And then I was there for a week and a half.
So before that, once your sophomore season ended, did you have an idea that you would be drafted, or were you thinking maybe you'd be a free agent signee because you were drafted in the 33rd round, like we discussed earlier? Did you have any idea?
I wasn't sure. I had an advisor at the time, and he was like, well, there's a few teams that are interested, but it's going to be late. I guess we got he got some interest in the 15th round, and I just kind of dropped all the way down to the next day, basically. And it was just because not much exposure. The Dodgers guy that drafted me actually saw me just that year because that year the Dodgers scout was actually having issues with family. So they had to go on and get have a different scout in our area. So that was, I guess, he watched he showed me video of me playing in probably 5 games the year that he drafted me.
So I've seen this video kind of circulating around Instagram, and it was the Central Michigan baseball field covered in snow and ice, and someone ice skating out of the dugout. Was that someone on your team? Do you know who that was?
Chase Rowland. Actually, his brother was a walk-on my freshman year with me as a freshman. And then He was 2 years. I think he came in when I left. But yeah.
So with the season starting in March, talking about lack of exposure, do you guys get snowed out a fair amount of the time at Central Michigan?
Our coach is very stingy, so it was hard to get snowed out at Central Michigan. There's days where we were picking ice off the field. I was driving the Gator because I was I'm playing 14 innings today. I gotta stay in the warmth. And I had the Gator driving around the outfield, and we were shoveling snow off the field.
So you were happy that you were drafted in California then?
Yeah, definitely.
You don't have to worry about ice ever.
With that logic, you guys probably played in 20-degree, sub 20-degree temperatures. Getting one in on the hands, that just must be terrible. Because we've only played baseball in California and like Arizona, so I have no idea what you're talking. So speaking of Central Michigan, there's been a lot of talk, since spring training, since summer camp, how at Central Michigan you hit no home runs. You're 2 years there, and last year between AA and AAA, you hit 19. Was there any sort of strategic maneuvering to change your swing to unlock more power, or is that just something that kind of happened?
I mean, when I was at college, I kind of had to adapt to what the coaches really wanted. So they really wanted, you to take the first pitch of your first at bat of the game. Like we were not allowed to swing at it. So we were basically battling from there, trying to get a hit. Mm-hmm. And, so our philosophies were a little different in college. Looking back on them, don't really agree with them now. Like obviously with professional pitchers, you got to treat them a little different. Every pitch counts. So yeah, with college, I mean, you're battling from behind a lot. A lot of teams in the conference already know that you're taking a pitch, the first at bat, even late in the game. Like, hey, the coaches, we're down, and our coach is like, take a pitch. I'm like, all right, it's like the 8th inning. You get a fastball right down the middle because they know you're taking a pitch. But it was tough, just dealing with that, and also like they always got mad if you pulled the ball. So like a ground out to second base was like the worst thing you could ever do as a left-handed hitter.
Really?
You couldn't do that. And it was just, it was pretty strict. I mean, by my sophomore year, by the end of the year, they kind of trusted me and let me swing at the first pitch. And then I started hitting a little more some more doubles. And I think I hit a few balls off the top of the wall at Central. The wind's blowing pretty hard across the field. So, it was tough to get him out of there.
Why were they so against you pulling the ball? Were you getting shifted on in college, or that was just kind of their philosophy? Yeah,
that was their philosophy. We had a guy named Daniel Jipping. He was probably all 6'3", 225 pound, just straight muscle. And he was a guy that in BP, they wouldn't let him pull the ball. He had to hit line drives the other way. That's just how they rolled. It was just one thing you had to do, and just kind of adapt to it if you want to play. And if you don't want to play, you sit on the bench and watch us hit the ball the other way and score runs that
way. So just hit the ball hard. That's been your new philosophy. Hit the ball hard.
Yeah.
I was hoping there was some sort of something that you can give us to where we can start hitting home runs in softball leagues.
Your secret stuff.
Something, but there's nothing like that, is what you're saying.
No, it's definitely hard work in the cage, and a lot of those Dodgers, hitting coaches, been around Aaron Bates for 4 years now. The first year that I was in Great Lakes, he was there working with me, and Craig Waldenbach, I think that's his last name. He's like a guru of hitting, so he was there every year of my career so far, and at the first you're like, who's this guy? Like, why is he telling me? I already was here, and then you kind of do some research, and you're like, oh, this guy kind of does the stuff. I should probably start listening to him. And the things he says are just like he like talks about martial arts and like how to use your body and stuff like that, getting your body in the right position to do different things. Really made me open my mind up to hitting, and just taking it from I'm just trying to put the bat on the ball to my body needs to be here so I can make a certain swing.
It's such a contrast from what you're getting in college. Because what I was going to say, like what was going on in Central Michigan just seems kind of like such an old school mentality.
Yeah.
Not pulling the ball, take the first pitch, just kind of old school. So when you were at Central Michigan, were you playing second base or were you playing shortstop?
I started every game at shortstop except for one in my sophomore year.
So as a natural shortstop, what has it been like coming to the Dodgers organization with their philosophy of pretty much everyone has to be able to play at least 3 positions?
Everywhere.
Yeah. So you're able to play second, short, third, and both corner outfield spots. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yep.
So what has that transition been like, kind of expanding your positions?
Yeah, and my goal is always to get as many at-bats as possible. So in a season, especially when I first started coming up, I was a 33rd rounder, didn't get many chances. So just had to do what I had to do to get in the lineup. And it started kind of in college baseball. It's first summer, right after my freshman year. We had a guy from Florida, a shortstop from Florida, a shortstop that was there the year before me. So I was kind of third guy on the depth chart. And then we had a second baseman that went to St. John's. And so I kind of got pushed to the outfield, played some right field, played some left field, did kind of the corner thing. I hit really well, made the All-Star game. And at the All-Star game, I played second base. And I didn't play. I maybe played
your own team.
Yeah, I didn't even play second on my own team. So it was that's kind of where it started. I was like, yeah. I mean, when I was younger, I caught and I moved to outfield a little bit. And then once I started like developing into like getting older, like probably I think I was 12 the first time I played shortstop, and then kind of manifested itself into almost every day. High school started every game at shortstop as a freshman all the way up through senior year. But yeah.
So when you came to the organization, when you're coming up through the minors, is that something that they tasked you with, or did you kind of just let it be known to everyone that, hey, I can play.
Put me anywhere.
Second,
I can do whatever you want.
It's first team all state. I can put the ball wherever I want to. I'll make it rain out here.
Were they kind of tasking you with that, or were you kind of pushing that to them?
Well, the first time I rolled into Midland with the Loons, they already had a shortstop, Brendan Davis, and then Omar Estevez was our second baseman every day. So going there was just like, all right, I'm going to play third base. Cool. Like that's what I had to do to get in the lineup. I'm going to do it. And so it kind of just started from there. And then one of the catching coordinators came up to me. He's like, if anybody ever like we get two catchers that go down, we only carry two catchers, you're going to be in there. Like, just so you know, you might have to get a catcher's glove too.
Did it happen?
No, it hasn't happened, but
okay.
He's our AAA coach now. So maybe one day.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you won't be having to go back there.
Hopefully, but
you're seeming like you're coming up, and that's one thing I'm really curious on, because you're kind of like you're about to be called up, and like, the Dodgers are an organization that kind of moves a lot of players from AAA to the big leagues, all that kind of stuff. Like, is there like, what's like the biggest, I guess, like the thing that you're looking forward to not having to deal with if you're able to stay in the big leagues?
The bitterness in AAA.
The bitterness
from other players. Like when I got to OKC last year, we weren't playing very well. I think they won 72 games, maybe. I'm pretty sure they didn't have a winning record, so probably less than that. But like we were in one of the last place teams, and it was just very bitter. The team wasn't getting along with each other. It was just like we brought up a whole bunch of guys up from AA, and we all ended up doing pretty well, but the team camaraderie wasn't great, and I don't look forward to that ever.
Yeah, I think it's more like when you're up, it's just like, hey, we're here to win, like whatever you could do to help us win type deal. That's what we've been hearing at least. So, and to speak on, I guess coming up, same thing. I'm someone who's really interested in like top 100 prospects. I kind of follow that whole thing and follow minor leagues pretty closely in the Giants organization, at least. And I've always wondered, is like the top 100 like prospect list, right? Like when you look at when I looked up your stats, like it looked like you deserved to kind of be one of those guys. You've always had pretty good stats and your stuff looked really good. Is that something that like guys think of, like, I'm a top 100 guy, or is it like does it bug you that you're left off that list?
No, it definitely doesn't bug me to be left off that list at all. That's a prestigious list. Like those guys are, super elite, like very good athletes, and they deserve to be on there. And, at the end of the day, it's just another list that, you get to prove wrong, and you get to go out and compete against those guys and, show them what you're actually about too. And, on a day basis, it's just a list. And at the end of the night, there's gonna be a game hero, and there's gonna be a team that lost. So it is what it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you ever encountered, you don't need to name names, but those people that are on that list? I mean, is there
name some names. Let's get into some dirt right now.
Is there like a certain arrogance or kind of ego of, someone who's kind of top in the minor league ranks in the organization or across different organizations that you may come across? I mean, does that ever come up, like some guy hot dogging it because they're the top 100 prospect or something?
You can definitely tell, the lifestyle's way different. Like if you get drafted high in the draft, you're not living like a grind, like a minor league grinder per se.
Right.
Because the bonus.
Yeah, because the bonus. Like you basically, if you probably get over anything over 100, probably 500 grand, you're gonna live pretty good in most places.
Yeah, I could imagine. I mean, I can't imagine, but I've heard I've heard people say that's an easy amount of money to live with.
Yeah, I've definitely lived with 6 guys in like a 3-bedroom apartment in Rancho.
Another thing too, like when you hear, I'm not sure exactly how active you are on Twitter, but when the negotiations were happening, and you hear like fans saying things like, "Oh, they're just pampered millionaires. They don't know what it's like to struggle."
Yeah.
It's just kind of like a thing like these motherfuckers. Like if they only knew, or it's just like I don't even pay attention to these dudes.
Yeah, I don't really pay that much attention to Twitter, but I kind of.
So there's no burner.
No.
No burner. Okay.
Well, we've had a couple prospects on recently, and one of the questions we've been asking them, while you're coming up through the minor leagues, because a lot of people don't know, kind of how bare bones you're living. What would you tell fans that come out to a minor league game if they wanted to help players? We've heard people say bring like Chipotle gift cards for the players. What would you tell fans to bring out just to help these guys? Because they're making, far below minimum wage, like poverty line stuff. So we're trying to kind of get some awareness around that to help these guys out.
Gas money.
Okay.
Stuff like that. It's definitely like cards for food. Definitely with the Dodgers, we don't really get limited to the food as much just because we're kind of, the organic thing with Gabe Kapler when he was here, and now it's, trickled down to like, it's pretty good food. It's not all organic anymore. It's just good food in general. So, with other organizations, they're eating peanut butter and jellies before the game. They're making, cereal in the clubhouse. The clubhouse managers have to cook them food. We don't have that with us, but yeah, that's kind of stuff that, that's a clubhouse manager isn't a guy that isn't a chef. Like he's there to do laundry and clean your cleats and get the grass stains out of your pants. Like the last thing I think of a clubby is to cook me food.
Yeah. The first thing now that I think of a clubby is, throwing out Chris Taylor, but that's a pretty rare occurrence.
Chico's different. Chico's different. He's an athlete.
Yeah, he's in his own world.
Yeah.
He's the exception to the rule for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the whole Chico situation? Like, because are you like that close to him? Because you haven't been up there that long. So like, do you have like a relationship with him or?
Just built shortly. I met him in spring training this year for the first time. Thought he was really a good guy in spring training. Mm-hmm. Just now he was around the guys. He was just really cool and really fun to talk to. And if there's nobody around or whatever, but when he was playing with us, he was in the dugout with us with his mask on, just talking with us. Like, he's just another guy that's just hanging out with us.
He has the coolest job ever. Super jealous.
Yeah. He is. Yep.
So, obviously the Dodgers are super loaded with talent. Even the clubbies got talent. So being coming up in this organization and, you're on the cusp of cracking the big league roster. Does it mean a little bit more to you knowing that you're potentially about to crack a roster that has 3 former MVPs as opposed to cracking a roster that's let's say is going through a complete rebuild? That has to feel like a little bit.
I know what you're getting at. You're a dick.
Yeah, I'm not gonna name teams.
Fuck you, Tyler.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, my buddy and one of my best friends from home, growing up from like 3rd grade. So he's a big Orioles fan, he's like, dude, you could come over and play with us tomorrow. Like, we would love to have you, kind of thing. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. I think that like playing with the Dodgers is like, if you break that roster and like you get in the lineup with all that talent that they have, just that gives you so much more of like achievement feel. Like later in your career, you could use it to your advantage, all that stuff. It's definitely really cool. Even playing with those guys, like after I hit that home run in the exhibition game against the Angels, JT texted me. Like that was probably one of the coolest things that's ever happened, honestly.
That is super cool.
That's
so
cool.
I have to ask, because during the broadcast of one of the inter-squad games, I believe it was Nomar and maybe Jerry Harrison were talking about it. You got a couple knocks off Clayton, and I know you probably didn't keep those balls because it's an inter-squad game, and that might look kind of weird doing it in front of your teammate. But did you like sneak back and like tell him to hold on?
So I know you did. I know you didn't keep the balls, but between me and
did
you keep those balls?
No, I didn't keep the balls. No.
I would have, but I guess I'm just petty. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You like we were talking about, you're on the cusp of breaking the roster, and I'm sure your MLB debut is a moment that you've dreamed about your whole life. Is it going to be weird? I mean, I know it's going to be weird, but how weird, I guess, is it going to be having no fans in the stands? Your family's not going to be able to be there, which I know that would be a special moment for you and them. So what's that kind of like? And, have you talked to your family about it?
Yeah, I mean, briefly, it's just, hard times. You can't really do much about it. I'm not the guy that's going to go and push for my family to be there or be special, to have them there. I know it is special, but, just with the hard times right now, I don't really want them to travel. So it's hard, but I mean, we have FaceTime, you get to talk to them after the game, just like you would if they were there. You don't get to hug them, but,
right.
But
yeah, maybe just set up your phone in the dugout,
There you go. Yeah. I'll have
put them in one of the cardboard cutouts or something.
Yeah, exactly. I think my dad and my grandpa got some cardboard cutouts for Dodger Stadium so they can say they were there. If I do,
that's really cool.
Get to play out there this year.
That is pretty cool. I was super bummed because I wasn't going to get one. And then I was like, I'll get one. But I wanted to put it in the bleachers, but now they're not taking any in the bleachers, I guess. So when Will Smith hit that home run and almost knocked that kid's head off, I was just like, damn, that could have been me. That could have been my head that fell off. And now I look like a total nerd. Like, this is so sad. That should be me. Jeez. So as far as being on the taxi squad, the differentiation between being on the active roster and the taxi squad, what does that mean as far as during game time? Are you guys you're not going to be suited up, is that correct?
I'm not sure. I think we get to suit up and then we sit like in the bleachers. I'm not sure. Not 100% positive.
But I mean, everyone else who's not starting is also going to be in those kind of extended dugouts, right? That's how it's been the last few days.
Yep.
So you're only able to play if someone goes on basically like has like symptoms or something. Is that what I'm understanding?
I think I can just be. I don't know. I think I got to be activated like the night before.
And someone else has to be like IL or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
Does it have to be the COVID IL, or could it be if someone goes down with like a hamstring pull, could they activate you, or is it specifically COVID?
I think I can go up for either or.
It's such a weird dynamic,
because as baseball fans, you're getting so many new rules and so many so many new things, like just like playoff expansion like day of, and I was like, and then like we were dreading it because we're thinking it's what they were talking about, in the off season with like you're picking your own team, and then the first round bye and stuff. So like it turns out it's not as bad as we thought it would be. It's still bad, but it's not as bad as fans thought it would be. So it's like it's hard to keep everything straight, even if someone who's like checking everything,
Definitely, yeah. I mean, they sent out an email today and saying like all these different, they're telling us to look back at the rules and stuff. They're like, well, there's so many that it's really hard to like go back and read all. Like it's like 100 pages like that you have to read and to see all of them.
It's like, bro, Is there like a movie I could watch instead of reading this? Like,
right.
Yeah.
There was a 30-minute video that they showed us, and it had like maybe 10 rules on there, and I don't even think they've been following those rules, but
it seems like there's a little bit of making it up as we go along, as we,
we're still learning everything,
Saw the press release about the Marlins, and it's just, we don't have to get into that, but now that you're almost here, I think the big question that Jesse and I want to know is there a big league pitcher in your mind that you want to hit a bomb off of? That would just, no matter how long or short your career would be, you would have that memory forever.
Probably like Max Scherzer. Just because, he's just so, I don't know why, but yeah.
Because he's pretty much the shit.
He's elite. He's elite. He's a great.
He's pretty decent, I guess. I don't know.
I think a lot of Dodger fans want to see you knock some home runs off the Astros, but
I was gonna say I was hoping you were gonna say Zach Greinke or Verlander,
Justin Verlander. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Definitely.
Yeah. Verlander's out, but
yeah. But maybe later.
I think there's a chance Greinke could start on Wednesday. So,
but Greinke wasn't there during 2017, so I don't think it'd be as,
it would still be good.
It'd still be good. It's good enough for you.
Stop ruining it. Stop ruining it, Jesse.
Save.
In the Walker today, and he was saying that, I wasn't talking to him, but it sounds like that he wasn't there in 2017, so he's not gonna go about it like a lot of people, like a lot of family, like a lot of Dodgers fans want him to.
See, and that's what with the way the starting rotation lines up, is we're getting Walker, and then we're getting Dustin May. And when I saw that, I was kind of like, damn, like they have no horse in this race, really. Like it's not as personal for them. Like, damn, like we're gonna have to wait.
Walker wasn't there.
He came up in September that year, but that was it. He wasn't on the postseason roster.
Really?
Yeah.
Gosh, I didn't. Yeah. Fuck me. Okay.
That's why, Rich Hill needs to get DFA'd, need to sign him real quick, have him play one game against the Astros, and then we'll call it a day.
Yeah, that dude grunts too. You'll hear everything he does.
It would make it so good, but
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like it's just not going to be what Dodgers fans wanted it against the Astros anyway this year, just because of no fans and you'll
get a chance next year, Zach. I believe, and that's one thing too. I mean, I would love it if you hit a home run off the Astros. That's one thing I feel like I'm allowed to get behind.
Oh yeah, definitely. That'd be awesome, especially in Minute Maid. That would be even better.
So Zach, what's like the main thing that you're into besides baseball? Like if you weren't, I mean, I guess you could just talk just in hobby, and also like if you weren't, a baseball player, what would you be trying to do?
So a hobby of mine is definitely like going to the lake, having campfires kind of thing. And then like hiking. I'm a big hiker, like in Arizona. I've lived down there a lot. So we try to find like all these little, little ponds and stuff, like in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the desert. And you can just go there and hang out and, jump off some rocks, off some,
that's tight.
Yeah. Float the river, Salt River. I like to do that a lot. Just hiking and all that. Just seeing nature.
Hiking, dude. You just always see snakes. I don't fuck with snakes. You know what I mean? Like the couple times I've gone hiking with my wife, like I tell her all the time, like, honey, like if we see a snake, I'm taking whatever's closest to me, a rock, whatever, I'm throwing it, and I'm gone. Like you need to be close to me. You need to be behind me because I'm leaving. I'm not saving you from a snake. That's it.
She doesn't want to be close to you because if she's the closest thing to you, you're gonna push her into the snake.
I'm not gonna push her.
I don't know. You don't seem very trustworthy.
I just can't do it, dude. I just don't. I don't know. Hiking, dude. I'm not a huge fan. I'm glad that you like.
Yeah, you gotta get like a hiking stick. You have to always find a stick.
Okay. Or the walking sticks. Just make sure to sharpen it at night.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Dude, I got you. My girlfriend is actually, no joke, she's whittling a design into a walking stick right now. So there you go, Jesse.
That's awesome.
Pay me like $300 I'll mail it to you, and then we're good. It all makes sense.
So basically, Zach, what you're saying is if you weren't a baseball player, you'd be Bear Grylls.
No, I'd probably be. I really growing up wanted to be like a Navy SEAL, doing that kind of stuff. My dad was in the Navy for 9 years, so my grandpa was in the Coast Guard, so it kind of runs in the blood a little bit. So definitely something with the armed forces.
Just serious shit, man. That's crazy.
I just watched something about the Navy SEAL and going through buds, and it's really fun to watch someone else go through that because you're just like, man, that looks really tough. Like, I could probably do it though, but like, I'm not going to. Like, it's so crazy. Just the stuff they do in the pool. Like, I would have a panic attack so fast with my hands tied behind my back, think I'm going to drown. No way. So
well, that's part of the training is you have to be able to drown, and then they bring you back.
You have to be wait, hold on. Did you just say you have to be able to drown? Like yourself? That you die when you drown.
You basically, you swallow water, and when you breathe in water, they make you breathe in water, and then they bring you out and back out.
So you're ironborn, is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Is that a Game of Thrones reference?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, though, what? No. Oh, it's cold-blooded up in Westeros, dog.
That is.
Jeez, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. You have to be able to die, and then we might let you in.
Yeah. So, like, the whole thing with the Navy SEALs is just trusting your brothers, basically.
I don't know if I could. I wouldn't trust Tyler enough. Like if Tyler's like, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna need you to swallow this water." I'm like, "No, dude, fuck you. Like, I'm not swallowing water."
I was CPR certified back in 2013.
That's what I think. I don't even trust you to save me there.
I used to work with children. You're fine.
I mean, above multiple reasons why I can't be a Navy SEAL, that's another one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that me walking up the stairs, I'm sweating. Like that's. Look at me right now. I'm sweating now, just sitting here.
The fact that you consider that a hike, whereas Zach's climbing up mountains and he considers that a hike, that's the difference.
Yeah, my hike was around my side yard. I had to walk through it. It was crazy.
And then I saw a snake and my wife died because I pushed her. But anyways.
Really interested in like crazy minor league stories. Do you have anything out of the ordinary that happened to you in the minor leagues? Or just one of your teammates?
Well, we had a hail out. It hailed in Midland, Texas, and that was pretty cool. Not really, but another one. Probably living in like the clubhouse, stuff like that during like the postseason because our lease was up.
Oh wow!
So we found like a little back room. Well, obviously we knew about it before, but we found a little back room, and it got really dark, so we just threw some air mattresses in there and slept in there for like I think it was like 15 days because we went on a good run.
Jesus.
That's awesome.
That's definitely different. You know, we take a few jabs here and there at certain people or places, and I'll start it off by saying Midland, Texas is by far the worst place in the United States of America I've ever been to.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. So I don't know if that was your experience, but I just had to say that was mine, and I'm curious to hear what you thought of Midland, Texas.
Let's get in trouble with it. Texas is gonna hate you no matter what because it's Houston, whatever.
Yeah,
so you can just go at them. Who gives a shit?
Well, Midland, Texas, it's pretty bad. Not only because of the hail storm that we encountered there, but the pricing for food there is outrageous for a place that has like nobody there. It's like New York City. Like it's like you're eating in New York City. It's $22 for a pizza. Like
so I actually heard from someone who lived there when I was visiting there that like McDonald's employees, they were making like $20 an hour because the population is so little that they just are, trying to pry anyone from another town across the way to work there. So that totally makes sense that, your McDouble, that's $1 is now $5 in Midland, Texas.
Yeah, it's a very like oil rich city. So that drives up all the pricing. Like to live there is outrageous. Like for like a West Texas area. Like it's way different than what a lot of people think.
Yeah, I feel this comes out on every one of our podcasts. Like every single time we have a podcast, we always end up talking about Aubrey Huff and we say fuck Aubrey Huff, and then always we get to Texas and we're like, dude, fuck Texas Mexican food. It's so shot. Like I feel like it's not a podcast until we say those two things.
Yeah, now we're good. Now we can kind of wrap up a little bit. So we're about to get in the rapid fire questions, but something that just came across my mind is, you said you traveled with the team to Houston. Is this the first time that you've traveled with the team, like, on the chartered plane? Is this the first time that you've done that?
Yeah, it's the first time, yeah.
I mean, you seem very calm, cool, and collected, but like I'm over here just like freaking out for you.
Oh my God.
So just being in the at Minute Maid Park or at Dodger Stadium, wherever you're going to be, being able to warm up for the game with the guys, is it going to be different for you? Are you going to be coming from like a different perspective now that it's not an inter-squad game or an exhibition game? Are you going to prepare differently?
No, not really. Just try to stay out of those guys' way because I'm not playing at night. So really all that matters is the 7:00 game. So getting those guys ready for that game and just trying to stay out of the way as much as possible. Just, listen in and don't talk very much is kind of what they've always told me. So especially as a young guy, just try to listen as much as you can and try to stay out of the way as much as possible.
Man, what a great teammate, this guy. So, Zach, just a few quick, it's kind of our version of rapid fire questions. I don't know why we call it that because, you can give us an explanation because we're going to ask you for one. So
anyway,
question,
we don't do anything right. We're just kind of two guys talking shit. That's what this whole thing is.
That's what we like doing.
That's what we do.
Who is your favorite ball player growing up?
Probably Ichiro Suzuki, like modern times.
Solid.
Good
him
answer.
and probably like Ken Griffey. Saw him at the Red Stadium one time. That was pretty cool.
So you're a Mariners guy.
Not really.
I like all their players. Just I don't really give a shit about them.
Yeah, I was more of it was kind of I had to be an Indians fan because everybody in the house was an Indians fan. So we watched the Indians a lot, and I don't know. I didn't really like the players from the Indians as much as I liked other teams.
They're just so good.
What's been your favorite baseball career moment thus far?
Probably, other than the, Great Lakes 2016 championship, I was a part of it. Just barely got called off for the fly ball to end the last out, and then I went back there the year after that, and then also started off the year after that in Great Lakes. So the fans love me there, and it's close to Central Michigan.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Also hitting 19 home runs last year was definitely a turning point in my career, and so that was definitely really cool. Hitting 2 home runs in one game in AAA last year, that was a first for me in my life. So that was also a really cool moment.
Favorite cereal?
Probably Rice.
That's what we're gonna judge you.
Like the Fruity Pebbles, Rice Krispie, Fruity Pebbles, whatever those are. Yeah.
That's acceptable. That's okay.
Yeah, I think we'll
allow
allow that. We'll allow that one. I mean, so you're talking about Rice Krispies. Have you had the Rice Krispie treat cereal?
Yeah. I've had it.
Oh my god, that thing is fucking groundbreaking.
Do it with the Fruity Pebbles. It's even better.
No. Well,
Yeah.
I think it's discontinued. I've been looking for it like my whole adult life, and I can't find shit.
Well, yeah, I think you have to make them.
Really?
We had a family friend that made them a lot, so grew up doing like the Fruity Pebble, Rice Krispie treat thing.
That sounds like a whole lot, man. When I'm just like, dude, I'm just gonna get some Crunch Berries, dude. Call it a day. It's just as good.
I can't be expected to make something for myself.
I ain't gonna make shit.
Adult. Oh, come on. Who's been your funniest teammate throughout the minor leagues or now on the big league club? Who's the funniest teammate?
Oh, that's a tough one. Probably Stevie Berman. That guy is just You just look at him and he just, makes you
That
laugh.
sounds like a funny name.
Yeah, he's a catcher. He's from like the San Francisco area, but yeah, he's hilarious.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Sounds like a great guy.
Yeah, you would say that.
But he plays for the Dodgers, so it's all right.
Yeah, I mean,
I hate him already.
Yeah, it puts him down a tier, but I'll still root for the guy.
Did you pick your walk-up song yet, Zach?
I've had the same walk-up song since like high school, so it's still in this by B.O.B. It's easy to like sing when you're like not in the box, so
Yeah,
that's why I do it.
Oh, cool.
So this is a question we ask every rapid fire, and I think it really shows our age because most people don't know how to answer, don't know which group is which. But Backstreet Boys are NSYNC.
Yeah, that's tough. Probably NSYNC.
Thank you.
Good.
I think he's the first one to answer correctly here because there is one right answer,
Yeah.
and it's NSYNC.
I think we just had a streak. I think it's been a while, but it's been a streak.
Yeah.
I mean, I think maybe just because this is the end, kind of like rose their stock up a little bit, and then JT cheated on his wife, so it brought him down for like a little bit. So maybe I don't know.
Zach, thank you so much for being on. We appreciate your time, and I'm super stoked to follow your career. I think you're gonna crack that lineup this year. I'm super stoked to see it. I know Jesse will be begrudgingly following your career as well.
Like I said, I mean, one thing I think I'll get a hall pass on is Houston. So you rake in Houston, or even when they come back to LA and you rake, I can root for that for sure. But I appreciate you coming on, man, and
Yeah.
I'll be rooting for you in the way of like fantasy. I want you to get yours, but just don't hit like a game go ahead RBI or something against us. Then I'll be okay.
That's like me rooting for the Indians, but liking all the other players.
Yeah, exactly.
If it happens in Houston, good luck in Houston. But whenever it happens, good luck, and hope to see you next year at the Ravine when fans can actually come back in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hear that.
Yeah, man. Hopefully we can have you back on sometime.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. After the year, after the seasons, whenever.
Yeah, definitely, man.
We'll get together.
All right, man. Well, stay safe out there, and we'll be. I mean, technically, we don't hope that you play tomorrow because that means that something goes bad. But if it does, we hope you're the one who gets it.
We hope it happens the way it's supposed to happen.
There you go.
Yep,
We'll go with
exactly. That's what I've been telling people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right, man.
Good luck. Thank you for being on, and take it easy, brother.
Yeah. See you guys.
This episode was brought to you by Renovation Candle Company. Renovation Candle Company dropping the new fall collection Monday, August 3rd. Use promo code BENCHES for 20% off your entire order. Now free shipping forever. Always free shipping. No codes. What you see is what you pay. Renovation Candle Company.
Unbelievable. If you don't buy candles, then you're just a piece of shit. That's
you are really
that's
dumb.
Incredible. You are really dumb, for
You're
real.
really dumb.
But if you listen to this podcast, you're actually very smart. We appreciate your support. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Benches Cleared Podcast, Twitter at Benches Cleared B. Make sure to be adding us to be featured. Tell us your trash talk. We want to hear it. It's going to be a great season. We're really excited. We're going to have more guests throughout this season. And thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next week. I'm saying fuck Aubrey Huff.